Hello, my name's Artemis, and today we're going to be talking about the National Health Service, which is the NHS. It's basically free healthcare in this country, and you know what it is and how it came to be, and also all of the ways that the people who so-called control this country shit on it on a daily basis. So yeah. Oh, and you've got Dr. Huxley Happygrowl to thank for this, because part of the patron rewards is that he got to pick a video, and well, this is the one. So hopefully you enjoy it, and let's dig in. So yes, the NHS, the National Health Service, it was started by this lovely chap here called Aneurin Bevan, which sounds a little bit like your name from Guardians of the Galaxy, but hey, that's unique. I ain't gonna forget that. I mean, I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong, but I ain't gonna forget it. Started in 1948, just after World War II, obviously, when we had Clement Attlee's Labour Parliament coming in and trying to actually fix shit after the, war. And they decided that, hell, we need a nationalised health service where it's free for everyone. And that was the sort of core principle of it. Free at the point of delivery. It was based on clinical need, not ability to pay, access to everyone. And those are good, lofty ideals. That's exactly what, an evolved government should be trying to supply for its citizens. That's what the modern era needs. And more countries should be doing that sort of thing. And yeah, throughout the years, it had its ups and downs as funding and whatnot. But we're not going to talk about, that side of the NHS, because unfortunately, the past is the past and the future and the present is kind of shitty for the NHS because, well, we have a Tory government, and the Tory government likes money. They like making money, and the NHS doesn't make money, it uses money for the benefit of the country. And, where's the profit in that, exactly? So, the NHS gets shafted all the goddamn motherfucking time. Yes, that's right. Nurses, doctors, they don't get no pay rises. They have to protest for it. They don't get the equipment they need, or the support finances are always slashed and cut. And the Tories still seem to lord it over everybody that, we have a really great health service that we're trying to slowly sell off to private industries so that, you can't have this on the NHS anymore or that. And, oh God, it just makes me fucking angry. So basically, to all of you Americans and whatnot, the NHS works in a very simple way. So when I have had accidents in the past, snapping an ankle, breaking an arm, that sort of thing, you go to hospital, and they treat it, and they give you x-rays if you need it, they do whatever you need doing, they will plaster you up, you go back for return visits, and you don't pay a penny at all. Not a thing. And if you need to see a GP, see a doctor, that's free. You can phone up nowadays if you want to, do a Zoom call. If you need a prescription, like they say, oh, you need these pills, there's a flat cost for that. So at the moment it's like £9.30 something, I think. Like, so, if I need a course of pills, that's the cost to support the NHS for the drugs. That's it. If you're diabetic, okay, cool, here's your insulin. There's you don't even need to pay prescription fees if you're diabetic. We'll waive that because, that's what we do. Like, this is a good service. This is something everybody should fall in love with. Like, holy goddamn fuck. We grow up in this country taking it for granted a lot. That is the fucking truth, okay? And it is integral to our well-being because, as an accident-prone child, I relied on it pretty fucking heavily. So it boggles the mind that Americans have to worry about, can we afford to phone an ambulance? Do they have health insurance? Maybe we'll just die instead, it's cheaper. Like, that's fucked up. Any evolved government should be instigating free public health. Like, that's just the thing. But you would think that everybody thinks along these lines and thinks, that they should be all supportive of the NHS and they should really support everything that it needs to do. But, well, the British public are fickle beasts and generally cunts. I don't think that's in dispute whatsoever. So their support to the NHS, that wavers here and there. Like, before the pandemic, everybody was sort of like, oh, greedy fucking nurses wanting a fucking pay rise. You should do the job because you love it. Yeah, of course. People always do jobs that they love. Obviously. This isn't a capitalist nightmare where we all just have to pay bills. Oh. But then the pandemic hit, and suddenly it was clap for carers, clap for key workers in the NHS, and that was apparently the way that you show support. You go out on a Thursday night and just give a round of applause to the fucking sky. all right, you do you, champ, but I'm glad the support is there. And of course, you know, I'm sure everybody be wearing a mask and be getting the vaccine. I'm sorry, what was that? No, you don't want to wear a mask? Right, okay, fuck you then. And that was the point where I think a lot of the support for, you know, medical sense and scientific fact just flew out the window, and therefore a lot of support for the NHS flew out the window as well, because suddenly we had switched from having all this respect for people who were keeping us alive, keeping the nation flying, and trying to keep everybody safe, and giving us all this important advice on how we can keep ourselves safe during this pandemic, something that none of us had ever experienced before. Suddenly we flipped from being respectful of that to, well, fuck your PhD, I could just go on Google, do my own research, and Terry on Facebook says that masks have got chips in them, and the government's tracking us, so fuck it, I ain't wearing no mask. What's that? I'm choking to death. Oh, someone else's fault. Like, this is literally what happens to the majority of it. Everyone likes to say, like, do your own research. Okay, cool. Do your own research. I fully support that. Spend the 7 years or so it takes to get a PhD and then go and do a research study in that field. Because Googling it does not count, okay? Going on Mumsnet or Facebook does not count. Reading what you fucking want to hear in the Daily Mail does not count. And now, of course, we're back to the NHS is not fit for purpose. GPs are trying to keep themselves safe. They see an incredible amount of people, the majority of which are sick and or injured. And they are obviously trying to filter out, because the British public are a bunch of whiny bastards. And, you know, I fell over and I've got a boo-boo on my finger, so I'm going to go and waste an entire appointment slot with the GP. And what I should really be doing is just going to a chemist, getting a plaster and an antiseptic spray, and treating it myself. But we have to have phone systems in place now that you phone first to try and filter out the whiny bastards who honestly should just be fixing themselves, because you have a slip, a trip, a bump, a fall, a cold. Like, you don't need to go to the doctor for that, okay? So don't clog up the fucking works. But no, now it's GPs need to go back to fucking work and start seeing people. Why is it so hard to get an appointment? It's because you probably don't need one, mate, okay? Like, the people I know who have genuinely needed an appointment have had absolutely no problem getting one. You know, the people who have had a trouble getting an appointment, the ones who really could just do with a Zoom call, or a normal phone call, or phoning 111 and getting some advice. Like, holy goddamn shit, fair weather fucking support. And of course, it doesn't help that we have a government that just does not give a fuck at the best of time. The whole point of the lockdowns and the pandemic was to protect the NHS, but the real thing that the NHS needed protecting from was the Tory government, because, you know, as I've said before, it doesn't make money. It's not a profit-building business, and the Tories are all about profit. That's the only reason they enter into politics in the first place now, isn't it? So, of course, they're more than happy for the NHS to look shit. They're more than happy to pull funding and then point to them and go, see, they're not fit for purpose. They can't do the job. But my mate, they could take over and you could all start paying for it, and then we can have more money. Because it's never going to go into the public, is it? It's never going to come back to help the country. No, we're just paying for the rich elite fuckers. So they're more than happy to keep sectioning off parts of it and outsourcing to their friends to do test and trace, and then wondering why A, it's massively over budget, and B, it never fucking worked. But hell, they'll keep calling it NHS test and trace and whatnot, keep branding it NHS, because, you know, other people's fuck-ups can just be swept under the rug and we can blame the NHS, which they still want to privatise. And eventually, if they stay in power, they'll probably fucking do it as well. And it's hilarious when you think about it as well. You've got nurses begging for a simple cost of living pay rise. And I mean begging, having to protest for it, for God's sake. And they don't get it. They get like an insulting 1% offer, which was then tripled to 3%. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then, of course, if they're told that's not enough for us to fucking live on, when we're doing 14-hour shifts and it still isn't enough to pay rent, they're getting told they're greedy. But the MPs are saying that they can't afford to live on £82,000 a year. Oh, God, my heart bleeds for you, you fucking cunts. Like, they want a pay rise to 100 grand, and I guarantee they'll get it, because they are actually in control of their pay. It's a shocking, staggering fucking business. It really goddamn is. And even in the day-to-day world, the attitude with the NHS is just fucked up from the public. Like, so recently we have had, obviously, a pandemic, and we have had a fuel crisis. Now, we've not actually had a fuel crisis, we've just had people panic buying and being stupid fucks. But that doesn't mean that we don't have issues because of it. And there was a lovely little local story from down here of a massive queue system at a petrol station, everyone trying to fill up their tanks so that they can leave their car parked in the road as they work from home, but whatever. And an ambulance turned up, needed to refuel. So the petrol station guys on the forecourt, they came out and they held the traffic back and they let the ambulance come through to fuel up. And yes, you better believe that ignorant cunt motorists got out of their car to start abusing the ambulance staff. And so, oh no, they have to fucking queue up as well. I'm like, cool, take down all of their details, and whenever they need a fucking ambulance, you say, no, sorry mate, you apparently say that these ambulances don't need fuel, it can't get to you, fuck off. And I think that's the fucking key for a lot of these people. You know, you don't want to get the vaccine, don't want to wear a mask, no worries. Can you just sign this form saying that you will not receive treatment for COVID-19 illnesses? Yeah, because, hell, you're making an active choice here to not protect yourself, okay? If you've got a legitimate reason, fair enough. If you can't have the vaccine for reasons, fair enough. Can't wear a mask for health reasons, fair enough, no problem whatsoever. But if you're fit and healthy and able to wear a mask and take the vaccine and you're just saying you don't want to because of some stupid shit you read online, no, you don't get to clog up the NHS. You don't get to waste that, okay? You're saying that, you know, I'll take my chances with the illness. Cool, take your chances then. Actually stand by that. Eat your words, champ. But yes, there was also the other story of myself, or at least Aaron at work, and I had to hear about it, whereupon they were closing during the pandemic at 5 o'clock every night, and of course people who didn't need to actually go out shopping were still going out shopping and trying to get in after 5 o'clock, and obviously that's not going to happen, no, but then when an ambulance turns up at 10 past 5 and the driver needs to get some shopping done, of course, you know, we'll open the door to that and then get a shitload of abuse from people because why do they get to jump the queue? I'm like, do you know what they've been doing all day, champ? You know what they've been doing all day? Saving your fucking lives, okay? Helping people. There's a reason they can't make it to the shops, whereas everybody else is on fucking lockdown, so shut the fuck up. And that's the problem with the British public. They're all happy to support all of these wonderful institutions, but only when it benefits them and when it's a convenience to them. You know, you will see people bitch and moan and slag it off as it's underfunded and all that bullshit. But the second they get a health issue that they rely on the NHS to help fix, suddenly they're all in support of it. And that's the fucking problem. Oh, but there you go. I hope this rant informed you a little bit, educated everybody, because it is a very big part of this country, something that should be preserved and protected above everything else, but unfortunately, as long as the Tories remain in power, it's under threat. Oh. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy that. And it was also informative. It's always nice having a little bit of info about this. Well, they used to call it Great Britain, but I don't think that applies anymore. Just Britain at absolute best. That's the most optimistic we can really name it. But hopefully you learned a little bit about the NHS and all of the assholes that are trying to tear it apart for their own profits, because they're also kind of in control of our country as well, which is, you know, scary. Thank you again to Dr. Huxley Happygrowl for the suggestion on this. And of course, if you yourself watching this video out there want to have a video like this made for you, you've got a topic that you want me to cover, well then, you know, all you've got to do is subscribe to the Patreon, you know. Go on to the Wannabe Popufurs tier and you get one. You get one, you can have me do things. Like any video idea you like apart from, you know, prostitution and stuff, because, yeah, I'm not getting naked. That's not happening. I might be too poor to have morals, but I draw the line somewhere. But yes, hopefully you did enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and, well, yeah, I guess you'll see me next week, won't you? Haha!